All right, Chris, a lot has happened since the last time we got together, and we actually did get together. I got my new car, which I'm loving. My wife and I have since moved. We are in a new apartment, and I don't exactly know where to film properly. Plus, I don't even know where the tripod for my camera is, so I'm kind of sitting awkwardly with the camera braced on a shelf, which is why the angles are kind of out of whack a little bit. But it's been an interesting month, a very stressful month for me. I've been working a lot. That's part of the reason why I haven't managed to put out any videos. I know you've been really busy this past month as well, so we're getting back on that. Today I am drinking Samuel Adams Hoppy Red. It's from their seasonal grab box. It's very hoppy, and I'm not normally a fan of hoppy beers, but it does not make me hoppy. I'm the one that drinks beer in the house, so we don't like it, I gotta finish it. That's kind of the rule. Plus I'm too cheap to just pour it out. I did get to do something extremely interesting. A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I went to a Night Vale book signing that was hosted by John Green. Or Hank Green. John Green, what the hell. It was hosted by Hank Green. And I did, in fact, get to meet the man. I'm not exactly skilled when it comes to selfies, so I got just enough of my face in there to prove that I did, in fact, meet him. And even though he wasn't supposed to shake hands, they said no physical contact because they had a long tour ahead of them. I'm sure it's something to do with, disease transmission and whatnot. I told Hank Green that we stole their format. It was interesting. I told him that my wife was there for the book. I was there to meet him. And I said, yeah, I'm actually here to meet you. My friend and I, we have our own show that we kind of do a Vlogbrothers style format on. He was like, oh, cool. And then he shook my hand. And I took a picture with him. And I was just like, because he's probably the most famous person I've ever met. And he's not even super famous. So I was very happy with it, though. As I'm sure you know, this past Wednesday, the 11th, was Veterans Day, and I am a combat veteran, 2 tours in Iraq. I don't know that we have anybody who actually watches this show. Actually, I'm just going to end it there. I don't know that we have anybody that actually watches this show. You know I'm a veteran. The handful of people I know who watch this know that I'm a veteran. So it's always an interesting day for me on Veterans Day because I do not fall into the normal categories of veterans. I generally have alternate political views than a lot of them. But I did get a free Grand Slam from Denny's, so that's always cool. The following day, on Thursday, I actually had a really interesting experience. I substitute taught for a high school history class, and 3 of the classes that this teacher had have recently done a unit on World War I, and the Tuesday before Veterans Day, they did a pretend trench warfare situation, and then they had to write letters about it, basically. It was trying to get them into the mindset of it, and it reminded me of my favorite war poem, and I should have looked up the author before I started filming. I don't remember the author's name, but the poem is Dulce Et Decorum Est, or Dulce Et Decorum Est. It's Latin, I'm not really sure. I love it. I'll put a link in the description to it so you can actually give it a read. It's kind of long, otherwise I'd read it on here. It's a very well-written and disturbing kind of poem, which is probably why I like it so much. But I wanted to ask you a question. It was kind of a take on what the teacher was asking the students. What kind of a social obligation do you think the general populace has toward the military? Whether it be in reference to the draft or to veterans. I know that you are Buddhist, I know that you are very liberal, so I'm kind of interested in knowing how you feel about that, because I know how I feel having served in the military, in a volunteer military specifically. I wasn't drafted or anything like that. Do you think in times of war people should volunteer? Do you think the draft should be allowed? This is a really broad subject. It's very interesting and very complicated. So I'd be very interested in hearing what you feel, how you feel about this. And on that, I will leave you with this toast, and see if I memorized it properly. Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori, sed dulcius pro patria vivere, et dulcissimum pro patria bibere, ergo bibamos pro salute patriae. Which is where the title from that poem comes from, but the poem most definitely does not agree with the sentiment that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. Sweeter still, to live for one country. Sweetest of all, to drink to one's country. So let's drink to one's country, or drink to the health of our country. I'm not sure how I feel about it in general. I gained a lot of very good things from the military, and I will carry a lot of terrible things with me for the rest of my life. So I'm very torn on the subject. I'll talk to you later, man.